Hello students, myself Rajkumar Meena, Assistant Professor in English, posted at Babu Shobaram Arts College, Alwar. Today, with the help of this video, I will make you try to understand and make a critical appreciation to the poem written by Sarojini Naidu, Indian Weavers, which is prescribed in your BA Part first year syllabus of RRBMU University, Alwar. So, before we have introduction to the poem, let's have a brief introduction to the poet Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu is known as the Nightingale of India. She is counted among the sweetest Indo-English singers both at home and abroad. She was gifted singer, poetess. She was born at Hyderabad on 13th of January 1879. She came of the distinguished Chattogopadhyay family. She passed the matriculation exam of the Madras University at the early age of 12. Thereafter, she went to England in year 1895 for higher studies. She studied first at King's College, London, and subsequently at Grinton, Cambridge. She returned to India 3 years afterward and married Dr. Major M.G. Naidu. In year 1920, she came under the influence of Mahatma Gandhi and joined Indian National Congress. She took an active part in India's struggle for freedom. She joined the non-cooperation movement and she went to jail numbers of times. She bore the hardship of the jail life with the courage and fortified. Very soon she came to the forefront of the national movement. She was elected the President of Indian National Congress. On India's achieving independence after a long heroic struggle, she was appointed the governor of Uttar Pradesh. She was the first woman governor of independent India. She became a very popular figure as the governor of Uttar Pradesh and carried out her arduous duty faithfully and diligently. She was born poetess. She possessed a poetic sensibility and melody by birth. The poetic quality in her began to sprout at the early age of 13. At this early age, she wrote long narrative poems of 1,300 lines in imitation of Walter Scott's Lady of the Lake. The first attempt was crowned with success. Subsequently, she came into the close contact with English poet and critic like Arthur Symons, Edmund Groove. She wrote poetry regularly in the early year of her age. Several volumes of lyrics were published by her. The first volume, under the title of The Golden Threshold. Subsequently, she produced two more volumes, The Broken Wings and The Bird of Time. Her poetic career, however, came to a sudden end when she joined the national movement and she passes away in year 1949. So it was a brief introduction to the poetess. Now we have a brief introduction to the poem Indian Weaver. The poem entitled Indian Weavers, is a small lyric of 12 lines. It has three stanzas of 4 lines each. The line in each stanzas are rhymed. The rhyming scheme is AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF. The poem is included in the folk song section, The Golden Threshold. In each stanza, a question is asked in the first 2 lines and it is answered in remaining 2 lines. Weaving is one of the most important of the folk vocation in India, and the weavers are important folk characters. The poetess has skillfully retained the simplicity and littling music of a folk song, even though the lyric has a symbolic significance and a rich texture having layer within the layers of meanings. In 12 lines, the poetess has provided a symbolic representation of man's journey from birth to death. In the first stanza, the weaver says, "We weave the robes of newborn child." In the second stanza, weaver weave the marriage veils of a queen. In the third stanza, weave a dead man funeral shoe. The weaver are the fate of Greek mythology, weaving the web of life of Indian Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, the Lord of man, destiny, those who create, regenerate through that itself. Their process of creation is an endless one, like the weaving of the weavers from morning till night. P.E. Dastoor points out we are made to realize in the poem that the web of our life is a mingled yarn, grave and gay together. Thus, in admirable lyric, the poetess has traced human life through three most important stages that it passes. First is birth, second is marriage, and third is death. The texture is symbolic, and yet the poetess has succeeded in retaining the simplicity of the folk song. As Srinivasa Iyengar pointed out, the sentiments and imaginary are perfectly suited to each other, and management of the rhythm and the internal and terminal rhymes is perfect.